Yaniv Yakov is an Israeli man whose family was torn apart last weekend. His brother and nephews, who are aged 16 and 12, and his brother's girlfriend have all been taken hostage from their home in Kibbutz Nir Oz in southern Israel. It happened a couple of hours after the Hamas missile strike on Israel started. And he joins me now from a town near Ashdod. Yaniv, thank you so much for your time. How are you? Have you heard anything from Hamas about the whereabouts or welfare of your family members?
No, we are around 6 days after the kidnapping. My brother, his girlfriend, and two boys. And we don't have a clue about their health, whether they are okay or not. They were taken from their houses. They couldn't defend themselves. They used grenades in order to break into the room. They used missiles to bomb a house in order to take them out and break the door that everyone in the kibbutz tried using their hands to hold the door so they won't break in. It all started in a very surprise missile attack at 6 o'clock in the morning, and at around 8 o'clock a.m. We had a call with my brother. My wife called him to check about their status, whether they're okay, are they in the shelter, what about the boys? My brother mentioned that the boys are staying in their mother's house, which is like 200 meters away from his house, because they live in a kibbutz. It's a very small settlement, and that they are in a safe room and they cannot go out because they hear gunshots outside by terrorists. And then around an hour later, we tried to contact them, but we couldn't. We got a WhatsApp audio coming from his girlfriend, Mirav, saying that the terrorists are in the house. They're shooting inside the house, and that my brother is trying to hold the door. After that method, we lost contact with them, and until now, we don't know if they're okay or not. But a day after, we got a propaganda video sent by Hamas on how they broke in and how they took my brother and his girlfriend. We also know for sure that the two young boys were kidnapped by Hamas, because we have indication about it, but nothing more from that state. Nothing. I can tell you that we here live in Israel. I don't live in a kibbutz. I live, like you said, near Ashdod. But my mother raised us on the fact that everyone has a mother. And we have to be sympathetic about the situation across the border. We have to understand that they are not living in the same way that we do. But after that surprise attack and what they did, they did it so brutally. They took kids and civilians out of their home, out of their place where they feel safe. They took them. They could not even try to defend themselves. And civilians and kids and women are not part of a war. This is not to be thought out of your minds, right? They're not supposed to be played as cards for any reason. They are innocent, right? My brother lives in a kibbutz for a long, long time. He and his ex-wife, they really believe that we could live in neighborhood, right? But now after that, I don't know what to believe. I don't know if they were raised on the same morals that we had. I don't know what to think. All I want is to get them back home This is the first priority, not clearing Hamas, not clearing Gaza. We need them back home. This is the first thing we need to do. We need to clear out a path for the Red Cross to come in to see that they are okay. And we need to persuade both Hamas and both the government of Israel to lay down their weapons. Let's get them back home, those civilians that shouldn't be part of this war. And after that, I don't know, we can talk about Hamas, we can talk about Gaza, we can talk about everything. But first and most important thing is to bring them back home.
Yaniv, besides receiving that propaganda video, have you had any other word? Do you believe that your brother, his sons, and his girlfriend are still alive?
I want to believe. That's the only thing that holds me sane. I took this thing as my war, not fighting with guns and stuff, but my war to tell my story to the world and change what the world think about this situation and help me and many other families, I guess, to change how people think and know that these crime wars shouldn't happen, and that really the most important thing is to be safe, right? That's how they felt before they were kidnapped. They were at their houses. And I don't think that any other option is there besides changing the mindset of the world about that. And that's what I'm doing for a week. I had so many interviews. I'm writing down letters to everywhere I can, just to make sure that someone will force both sides to stop and bring them back.
Yaniv, if Hamas is watching this video, what do you say to them?
Bring them back home. That's all we need. That's all that needs to happen.
Yaniv, we really appreciate your time this morning. It's just gone 1:30 a.m. there. I'm sure you've had a lot of sleepless nights since last weekend, and we wish you peace, but we will keep in touch. We wish you all the best, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.